Hey y'all, what's up? This is John with Be Superfly, and this demo too is one of my favorites from the demo site because it's just different than most Divi menus that I see. First of all, things are flipped here, and then when you go, let me go ahead and open up Inspect Element here. Then when you go in here, the logo comes up here for tablet, and in this video, we'll actually show a different menu on tablet. That'll be fun. And then when it goes to mobile, this goes down here. And so we'll have some fun here with that. You'll also see that this menu stacks before we get to the mobile, so we'll see if we can't fix that too while we're at it. But let's go ahead and pop in and see things that this demo is not using. We're not using either the buttons, see demo 1, for an example of one of those buttons. Well, and the main menu on the demo site has a CTA button. We're not doing that, but we could easily make this buy now button be a different color. So you know what? I'll do that first. I'll show you how to do that first. So let's go to our menus here, and we'll see in my main menu here, the buy now already has the menu button class on it, and because it has that, if it doesn't have it, you want to add that. If you're not seeing the CSS class option, you want to go up to your screen options here and turn this on, the CSS classes, then you'll see that down there. But since it already has, so this one is going to be our menu button 1, and then if you wanted to do a second one, you could do a different one called -2. And that'll do our second menu button. But I'll take that off for now. You can watch demo 1's video to see me use that. I don't want to repeat too much in these videos, but so this last buy now already has the button class on it, which means that when I open up this inline menu module here, if I go here to menu button 1, this last item buy now is going to accept these values. So let me go ahead and snag this color here, this brown color. Let me grab it real quick. Okay. So let's say I want this, I could say I want the background color to be a certain color, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say instead I want the text color of the button to be the brown color. And then on hover, let's say I want that to turn to white. Now you're not going to see this back here, unfortunately, show in the visual builder back here, but on the front end, when I refresh, you're going to see that the buy now is now in the brown color, and when I roll over it, it turns white. Or if I, kept it white here and white there, or let me just say transparent, but I gave it a background color of the brown, and then on hover, let's say I wanted it to be black on hover, which I don't know what the hover color is going to be, but we'll see here. Now it's going to have a background. Yeah, so I have to set the I set the transparent. My menu text color will need to be white, and then it goes to black. Oh, let's do the brown color here. On hover. There we go. Okay. Let me go ahead and save that. And then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this demo. Okay, there we go. And my hover. And obviously the spacing isn't quite right, so you would adjust that with the you would adjust that up here with menu item spacing. But let me just go ahead and ditch this here, because I don't want that. And then we'll or actually, let me just reset. That's what I need to do. I need to reset. There we go. So that's how you could use the menu item button with this particular menu. But here we go. And now we're back to where we started. All right, so let's take a look here at some of the options here. So content menu, this is where I pick my menu. We're using the grow submenu transition, which I don't know if I like grow. I'm going to change that to just be fade. That's good. Show the icon on apparent menu items. In this example, this font is so bold and this is so not bold, so I decided to turn that off. And then, so that's pretty much all of that there. Design, menu item spacing. We're having, some left and right margin here between the items. And then doing some padding here, bottom and left and right. Interesting, okay. Oh, just giving it a little bit of a bigger hit area for each one. That's why that is there. And why it doesn't have any on the top, I don't know why, but okay, great. It's working. Menu item, background color, all this stuff, the font, the text color, great. This is where the submenu, this is the submenu as a whole here, the entire menu here, this entire brown area. So we're not doing any rounded corners, no border, but you could. Menu button 1 and 2, we went over those. Submenu item text. So this is where it's getting the brown background being changed to black on hover, the colors getting changed. That's all happening in this window here. Okay. And then far as visibility, we're using this advanced media query instead of this disable on. So this will be fun to mess with this. Okay, and let me see if I have any CSS. And okay, there's a little bit of code here. Let's see what this is. And I'll probably move this code into this area right here, which, yeah, actually, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to copy all this code and put it in the CSS area here. Let me get rid of the style tag here. Yep, we know this. All right. So, inline menu padding top 160. Well, I think we could do that now with the actual... let me go ahead and cut that. And I'm just going to paste that in my in my little paste area here. Let me go ahead and save this. And let me get rid of this code module, actually. Okay, there we go. I was wondering why it wasn't taking effect. So 160. So let me go ahead and open this guy up. And let's go to our spacing. And module padding top 160. And see why that, see if that works for us. And if not, I'm going to have to do the margin here. Or it just could be how it's floating or something. No, it works. Okay, great. So that's fine. We'll leave that there. And I wonder if that was in a... Okay, at 980 it goes down to 20. Yeah, so I gotta do that too. I probably should have done this before doing all this, but now you'll get to see me do this. So yeah, I'm on in real time. So on desktop, it's going to go down to 20. And then let me see if there's anything else besides that. So that's going to get rid of this one right here. This 2-column switch is just code that we use to make the columns switch in a different order. That's all that's doing. And then inline menu, text align center. Okay, that's just making the menu centered. All right, no big deal on that one. Okay, there we go. So now the code's just going to be in that page area. And let's, great. So now we're really only dealing with an image module over here. And then an inline module and a hamburger module. And this inline module, it's going to show until 650. So disable below 651. So 650 and below, this inline menu is going to go away. And then this hamburger menu is going to be disabled above 650. So 651 and above, it's going to go away. And so you mess around with these to get the settings that you like. I'm curious on this here. I don't think this is a... Yeah, main menu. Okay, great. All right, so let's see this in action. Refresh the page. Inspect the element. Turn this on. So here we are. Now, normally at 980, Divi would stack these. And it does. So Divi does that. It's a regular thing at 980. It stacks these things. This is great. This is where that code came in right here that said, hey, at 980, two-column switch is set up, but the menu here, text-align center, if you change menus, you might have to... Actually, I think I can do this. And let me see if I can get rid of that code. I don't think I can. I think I need that to yeah, without this code right here, if I just cut that real quick and save it. It's going to hang on to the left over here. Well, never mind. It's staying in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it off. Even better. So now it's just the two-column switch code. That's fine. That's even better. Great. So we still have this going, and then when it gets to 650, so usually our next breakpoint in Divi would be 767. So usually right around here it would change, but we don't need to yet because our menu, it's not a problem yet. But as I said earlier, as I saw earlier, right there, it breaks down at 7:15. So we need to update that special media query from 650 up to, let's say, 725. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That way, I don't want that by now to go to a separate line. So 725. So I'm going to go into the inline module settings and change the visibility to say, hey, below 726. And then I'm going to go into the hamburger one and say above 725. All right. So now it'll make this one go away at 726. This guy will show up at 725, and we won't have to deal with this guy dropping down anymore. So I'll go ahead and refresh. And so now, as we get to, we're at 7, I'm looking up here, 760, 729, 28. Oh, I hate when it does that. 27, 26, 25. And so now we have our hamburger menu the rest of the way. And the cool thing is with the hamburger menu, if you want, you can do a different menu than the main one. So this inline menu is showing the main menu, but if you had a separate mobile menu that maybe didn't have as many items as your desktop one, you could do that. You could swap that out. But I go through this hamburger module in good detail in demo 1 video, but I'll just, you can add text here. You can have different animations here. There's a few to choose from. Menu button color, menu close button color. Do you want these to be square or do you want these to be rounded? Just little nice things that before were kind of hard to work with. I'm centering the alignment here. My background, so I have this image here with this gradient overlay on top of it. Menu item spacing, menu button text. So this is the spacing if you wanted to, the vertical spacing between the menu items when it opens up. Menu item text, submenu item style, the submenu item text, the menu button text, that if I had menu here, what that would look like. So lots of cool options. Let's go ahead and check it out. Great. Demos. Back here. Awesome. I can close this. Now, I do want to also say here in this hamburger menu, there's a sub-menu style. Right now it's panels, so the whole thing slides over. You know, like when I hit demos, a new panel slides in, panel comes back. If I change this to collapse, I'm not as big of a fan as this collapse, but when you do, you get this sub-menu icon color, sub-menu icon size, and let's see what by default it does. And then we'll pick something and see how it goes. So again, I like the panels a lot, but yeah, so here it's going to do a plus sign here. You open it up, and so I'm not as big on that one, but I can choose the color of that. I can choose the size of that. If you want to change the position of that, you have to do some CSS. But again, we're gonna take a look at this in the next update to see if we can't get more styling for this. Like maybe you can choose a different icon. You can actually position it where you want, stuff like that. In the meantime, I would just recommend using the panels option. Okay, let me see if I have any code in here. Okay, so I do have a little bit of code in here, and you probably noticed when I click this up, this big space here, that's this code right here, and that code exists right there because in the panel option, this option here, without that space, this demos is way up here. So I added that in, and I think we're going to address that in the next update. Like, how can we have that? How can we have this not be here and an option? So, and that should do it for demo 2. All right, y'all. Thanks for checking out Mhmm. And if you purchased, thanks for purchasing it. Or if you download it from membership, thanks for downloading it. And we're committed to making this plugin even better. But this update was just kind of a, hey, let's get everything working. Let's add in some submenu options. And now let's start to improve the plugin. And so, again, this is one of my favorite demos because what Divi site have you been on that's had a menu like this? You know, this is pretty cool. So, all right. Thanks, y'all. Cheers.